The first thing you're going to notice is that I have set up the PowerPoint that you can download for yourself to look at for each chapter. This is just to go with your textbook and to use and review if you need to. I'm going to skip through some of the activities as I go, just so that you can get a quick view here, and then you go to the activity on your own and pause it and give yourself some information. What you're doing in this chapter is you're taking an overview of the entire program, and it's showing you that there's an on-screen journal that you can enter transactions in, or you can go through and enter the transactions using some of the on-screen forms. And we're just going to be taking a peek at them right now, so it gives you some kind of an idea how each ones interact. As you can see right now, you're looking at a paycheck and an invoice, and you're going to learn how to use these in detail. But right now, we're just kind of taking a look and overviewing the program. When you get inside QuickBooks, you're going to notice something like this that's called an icon bar. And your book's going to refer to the icon bar, the menu bar, and different types of navigation as you go through. So just remember that the icon bar is the one on the side, and it can be minimized. Everything in QuickBooks, see these little arrows here, that could be minimized when you're inside the program. Here's a quick view of the menu bar, and you can see it's similar to the icon bar, but it is just across the top of the program. So you're just learning how to navigate, and that's what this is trying to show you. Okay, this is the home page, and on the home page it's telling you some individual items regarding a QuickBooks, in that how the flow charts work within the program. And so the next few screens will give you some views of the different sections. Here you go. This is the vendor section, and you can see that in the vendor section, each one of these arrows represents how one item flows to the next. If I create a purchase order, I'm going to receive inventory against that purchase order and possibly enter a bill against the inventory. Now, and this is what you're going to learn how to do. You can enter a bill without receiving, you can enter inventory without receiving a bill, and you can enter it with. So that's a two-step transaction. That's the reason why there isn't an extra arrow here. If I enter a bill, I need to go to this direction and pay the bills. Now let's go down and look at the customer section. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are at the customer section. Now again, we have that old flow chart, and you'll see it's showing you where you're going to flow to the next process. So if you come here, you'll see if I create an invoice, then I got to go to here to receive a payment against the invoice. And that will automatically go to undeposited funds, which we will explain later. But then you also have creating sales receipts that can bypass all of this and go straight to recording deposits. So it's a matter of choosing which transaction, the way you want to use it in that particular location. Now let's go on to the next area. Okay, here we are in the employee section, and you see that it directly, this particular section may not even show up on your QuickBooks company. If you have not already established employees and payroll of some sort, it will not show here at all, and you have to go through and set this particular section up. You can just enter a specific time, but we'll learn more about this as we navigate through the program. Okay, now we're moved over to banking. And banking, as you can see, remember we received payments here, and it went over here to the deposit slip. Everything else doesn't have a flow chart to it. So I can go through and write a check, and it will automatically go in my check register, or I can just enter a deposit by just clicking on the deposit slip. So the one that directly goes to this one is the one where you receive money from people, and those are your customers as far as QuickBooks is concerned. Now, the biggest question that I get with QuickBooks is how do these different sections how do these different sections change? Well, with customers, it doesn't have to be necessarily a retail store or anything like that. It's anybody that you're doing work for or that you're getting money from. QuickBooks considers those customers. Now, this is basic information on this home page. It's just basic information regarding your company. And one of the first 6 steps you're going to do in this chapter is you're going to go in and you're going to change some of the company name attributes just to see how that's done. But let's go on to the next section. Okay, your book's going to talk about the App Center. However, we don't have a capability in the Questa classrooms to download any of the apps. So just, just review the fact that it's there. Now, this is something we will be doing, and I have given you these next few slides. I've given you a PDF file to download so that you've got copies of these on your presence in your book at all times, because the book shows you how to do it the first time, and then it turns around and expects you to know how. So make sure that you have a copy of these instructions. You print them out as 2 pages of slides, and you've got them to refer to. But this is just going to show you quickly. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be exporting reports. So you pick up the report, you export it to Excel, and that it comes through here. And what you're going to be doing is creating a new worksheet, following my instructions. Now this is where things get kind of tricky. Oftentimes when you click on that browse button, it will bring up an error and freeze your machine, and it's because we're going to a file that's on an external drive. And just don't click on any of the responses to that error. I know it's odd, but once you bypass the error, get the browse set up inside here, you don't have to do it again. So just get the browse set up in the proper location, and then you're in good shape. So that I will demonstrate how that works when we get into the program. But this is just to give you an idea, the step-by-step instructions. Now, each time you open a new company, you're going to have to change all of the Excel options to these options. What happens is I have a program that checks your reports, and it checks all the detail on your report. If you do things like accidentally check space between columns, then I'm going to come up with a bunch of spaces in there, and my report's going to give you a 0. So nobody wants a 0 on a report that they feel like they get credit for. So please make sure that you spend big attention every time to this advanced Excel options. Now, once you've done that, you can come back and choose the file that you are going to be exporting. Well, this one happens to be a trial balance, so it has a TB after it, and you'll see when we get in there that there's a lot of different ones. Okay, once you export it, you're going to get a screen. It's going to open up your Excel file, and it looks something like this. And what you do is see there's the trial balance, and this is a P&L, so it's profit and loss. BS is balance sheet, and each one has a specific report for you to download. Now, in this particular exercise, these are the chapter activities, which it's showing you on the first ones, and every time you finish one, you want to put an X next to it. Then just make sure that when you upload the next one that you get the next sheet. Now, this is your project reports, and in this one we have the sheets for projects. This is a different QuickBooks company file. So you just remember that you're going to do chapter reports and project reports. Now I'm going to give you a, a PDF of this particular screen so that you can print it out and have it for your reference, because every chapter has a series of reports like this. This is chapter 1, so there's not very many, but in some of them you'll get as many as 25-30 reports you've got to export, so make sure that you understand the process. Now the last thing you want to do here is to save this file. Now you got your Excel. See, Excel is open and it's going to be on your taskbar of your computer. You save your file, then you turn around and close it, because the next, if it's already open, then you're going to lose some of your information. So you close on your Excel file, make sure it's all saved, and then you go on to the next process. Okay, now this is just telling you about some of the help communities that are in the program, and I'm going to go through these real quickly. These are different file types, and I'll go through that in a little bit more detail too when we get into the company file. And then this is showing you how to back up a file. Now, in your textbook, you're going to find that every time you get to a certain location, maybe where it thinks that you're just about done, it's going to suggest you back up your company file. You can do that if you're done for the day. But if you're not done for the day, just keep going, bypass it, because it's just time consuming, the machines lock up, and it's something we want to avoid. So you can bypass that particular feature. Okay, on to the next. Okay, Quickbooks Backups. This is just showing you what you have to choose where you're going to back it up, and make sure you go to your flash drive so you have a copy of it. And then you don't want to do it to your desktop. This is just another option. Save it now. Remember, the desktop at Cuesta College, if you tried to save to your desktop like this, you're going to lose the file, because the desktop and the My Documents erases every time that machine is rebooted. So you do not want to save to your desktop. Okay, and it will give you a verification that your backup is saved. And now we're on for what we want to do is to go on to the next part of it. And so what I'm going to do is stop the video here and then go on and show you some of the processes that you need to, or pause the video here and we'll go right into QuickBooks. Okay, so let's take a look at QuickBooks on my desktop. Now I've got it right here, and it's telling me that I have the accountant version. This is the same version we use at Cuesta. So what you would do is just open that accountant version up. And mine, first thing is it's going to go to my regular company file that I normally use. So let me get it over here in your window. Okay. All right, so these are just some of my company files that I use, but I want to restore the one for this lesson activity. So I'm going to come to Open or Restore a backup, go to Next. It's a local backup. So why am I restoring a backup? Because all of your files that you retrieved for these chapters are backup files. So now I go into Next, and I've got to find my flash drive. My flash drive is my G. There's my units, and here's Unit 1. Now see, I have a Chapter 1 data starter and a Project 1 data starter. So the first one that I do is the chapter, and the book does give you the instructions on how to do this, and the instructions start on page 1.11, but I'm just going to go through and show it to you quickly. So the file name says Chapter 1 Data Starter. I'm going to open it, and then here is where I'm going to name it. And this is what's important. See what's happening here? If I look, it's going to a weird place on my computer, and that's what it happens at Cuesta. Don't do that. Be careful. Go back to your location, find your unit folder, and make sure that it's going there. And see here, it's tried to name it a name that was already on there. This one, I think the book book tells you to name it with your name, chapter 1. So I should put in my name. Okay, so this is your first chapter activity, and it will go through the restoration process. Now, if the chapter file hasn't been updated, QuickBooks is going to go ahead and try to update the file as well. So what it'll do is it'll tell you that it needs to update the file, and it'll go through its process. So this should happen fairly quickly here. It doesn't always happen this quickly at Questa, but I'm gonna, okay, it's coming in, and there you go. See, this is the message you'll get. Yes, you do have to do this, because if QuickBooks is a newer version than your company file, you need to click on yes right here, and it will update your company file. And let me just let it go through its process without us watching it, and that will make more sense to you when we come back. Okay, the first message you're going to get is that you're opening a QuickBooks sample file, and you're looking at just a sample company file. So I clicked on OK, and my data was restored successfully. Here we go. This is just showing you some of the initial screens. I'm gonna close out this Accountant Center and maximize the home screen. So you can see this is what I was showing you in the PowerPoint. Also, this menu on the side is that menu bar, and you can see you can collapse the pane. And I just do that when I'm working with a small monitor. Most of the time I keep it open. Here's your menu bar across the top, and you can also navigate back and forth by going through different windows. Okay, so I'm going to let you go through the activities in the book without a lot of explanation here, because I want to focus on how to export those Excel files. That's the one thing that everybody messes up with this particular with this particular process with the first assignment. And I just want to give you an idea. First off, let me open the Excel file to show you what it looks like. And remember, I had you put your name on them. If you did the Unit 1 assignment, you should have, if I open here, browse my G drive, under my units, it should say Cleves, Maryland with the Unit 1 reports. And that's my Excel file. I just want to look at it. Now, see, it comes in with these instructions, which are the digital instructions that were on the sheet that we gave you. And it also comes in with this sheet. That's the one you're going to mark off on each one. These tabs are where you're going to bring in the new reports on the tabs. Okay, so right here, a lot of people like to take and just print out this one sheet. And you can do that. Just print out the one sheet and have that information. But I will give you copies of each one of these for that one sheet so that you know as well. And upload them in your tips and notes area. Okay, so I'm going to close this now, because remember, you can't export files until you have it won't work to export the files if you have your Excel file already open. So I'm going to close Excel, and I'm going to close this one too. It's just a little bit not necessary. Now let me go to the first report. Okay, as I mentioned, one of the first processes that they're going to have you do is go to the company section and change the company name. And they do this in every chapter. So you need to make sure that you do that, because it comes up on your document. So you go to My Company, and right up here where this says Rockcastle Construction, you're going to put in your name. It's Rockcastle Construction. And just make sure that you've got your name in that particular area, because it comes up on your reports. One important area that your textbook is covering, that you're viewing, is the lists. Now we'll go into chart of accounts in in detail, but you also have these item lists. Now in this particular company, the item lists are there's a lot of them. But you open a brand new company, you don't have anything in here, so you have to figure out how to work with the item lists. Now the thing is your chart of accounts relates to everything. So when you look at this account here, it's telling you which account that item is going to be associated with. So you can see that these come from the chart of account. If I look at my chart of account list, um, these numbers that are here on the side, and let's get those together. See, I have these accounts, and if you look, that 4100, 4110 design income account is in my chart of accounts. Well, that's all part of the item list area, and you'll learn that more in detail. But the thing that's important for you to understand is these all generate reports because they always come back to this chart of accounts to generate a report to show us how things have sold, what things have been bought, what things that we've got moving what direction. And so it's always tracking everything in your chart of accounts. Very important area to know about, and also these item lists. Okay, we're getting nearing the end of the chapter, but of course I want you to go through all the activities in the textbook. I'm just showing you some of the key areas. Now here in reports, we're going to be going to that trial balance report. And that happens to be in accountant and taxes. So I come here in accountant and taxes and look for my trial balance. Now notice that this particular report is already set for November 1st, 2019 through November 30th. The thing about this particular report is that and the other things about this particular company is everything's in advance. So you're not going to find things that are in 2017. It's always 2019 or 2020, 2018. That's what we're working with most of here. So now what I want to do is I want to run the report. And this is where I'm going to go through those processes that were in that PDF file that I had you copy. So what I'm going to do is bring over my Canvas so you can take a quick look at it. But over here in Canvas, when you come into this particular lesson on your quick tour, you'll go into tips and notes. There are these instructions right here. It's a PDF copy. Get yourself a copy. Have it in your textbook at all times, because that's what you're doing here with this particular one. Now I'm going to Excel and I'm creating a new worksheet. So your book tells you how to do this, but you're going to be doing this over and over again. So I'm going to move my PDF and my Canvas. Okay, so first thing I want to do is go to Excel, create new. Now, inside here, we're going to go to the next step, which is replace existing worksheet. This is where everybody messes up. They click on in existing, that messes you up. You've got to go do a create new right here, then come down to replace existing. And now this is where sometimes we get a lockup. Let's see if I do now. If I browse, and it's going to my correct location now because that's where I started, and so I'm in good shape. It should be my USB drive G, and I click in reports and see my report is named properly. I click on open, and now it's going to look for the sheets in this report. This is where I need to go to this next step. This is one reason why I like to use PDF files. It's because you can always take it if it's small, and you can come in and zoom to whatever size you want. And in my case, I want to zoom up. Let's see. Zoom. So what I like to do is go to Zoom and then Zoom 2, and I can put in my size, which in this case, I want to show you something specific. So I'm going to go up to 200%. And what I wanted to show you was my extra note right here. Your Excel, the Excel file is inside your unit folder, so don't mess up. If you didn't download my unit folder that I gave you, it won't be there because otherwise you have to go someplace else to get it. And so that's your Excel file. And now what I want to do is these steps. So I'm going to go into Advanced, and I've got this unchecked, these three checked, these three checked. Oh, I need to click off that. I don't want the export guide. And I want to be on report and screen. That will give my header that has my name on it there as well. And repeat row levels on each page. Okay, so now there's my settings. Again, they're repeated right here, so you can watch for those. And all I have to do now is click on OK. And then the last step is to choose my sheet. And I can't tell you how many people mess this part up. Make sure you go into the right sheet. This one's a trial balance. So I want to create the trial balance sheet. And then I'm going to do the export. And what's going to happen is it's going to open Excel. So here it comes. And this is yes on this. I want to replace the existing sheet. So it's opening Excel. Where is it? Right here. See, it's kind of blinking, and people miss that too. And yours would be blinking on the bottom. It depends on how your computer's set up. But there's my report right here. And notice it came in with my title for my company and all of the other bits of information that it's supposed to have. And all I have to do is save and close. Okay, so now let's go on to the next report. Okay, this next part is where the book got tricky. Is it came through and told you to do this trial balance, and then there's about 5 or 6 pages worth of how to back up, how to do this, how to do that. You don't have to do any of that. You go right to the exercise now, and what you do is you come in and you say, okay, what's the next thing I got to do? I have got to have my company file and print the profit and loss. That's my next report. So I'm going this time to company and financial. So I'm going to close off here, company and financial, find my profit and loss, and it's the standard is what I want. And it's for 11/1 to 11/30. So I need to change this date to 11/1 and 11/30. Okay, that's my profit and loss standard, and then I run it. Okay, so that's my next report. Now I just have to go again to Excel, create new. Now this is where everybody messes up, right here. And let's go back and make sure what it is. Hopefully you're saying to yourself, I know this, and stop giving me craziness, Marilyn. But I just want to make sure, because this is what everybody messes up with, is you've done the create new. Now you want to do and replace existing, that one. Now it automatically linked to where it was before. And what am I getting? I'm getting a profit and loss. So it's the P&L. So I come here, P&L. And notice these have PR in front of them with the P&L. That's because those are the project. It's a different company file. So there we go. And advanced, I check all my settings. Looks great. And I'm ready for my export. And yes. Now there was one thing I forgot to do on my Excel file last time. Here's my Excel file again. And I'm here and I forgot to check the report. So I'm going to come back to my trial balance. It's there. Things are good. My profit and loss is there. Save. Go back to my reports and put an X. I've got this one done and this one done. Now I have one last report to do for this company, and that's my balance sheet. So I'm going to close my Excel file. And if you want to save and close. And now I want to find my balance sheet, and that is under Company and Financial again. And I'm looking at my balance sheet, so I'm coming down, and it's under Balance Sheet Standard. Where is it? Profit and loss, income statement, income expenses. There it is. Balance Sheet Standard, and that is 11/1. So I got the wrong date here. And, oh, it's supposed to be 2019 though. Let's go back. April, May, June, July, October, November, 11/1 through 11/30. And that's that report. And run. We're back to the same thing. Again, create new, replace an existing, and we're doing the balance sheet. And export. Yes. Back to Excel. Here it is. And now I have the balance sheet, the profit and loss, and the trial balance. Come to my reports and put my X and save. Now I'm going to open up the next company and demonstrate how you're going to do those reports as well. So I'm going to close out Excel, and we're going on to the next step. Now I can choose to either just close out my company here or go right into or go right into my next company by restoring it. If you close out your company here, everything that you did is already in the program. It's fine. It's not a problem. You don't have to do anything major. So what I'm going to do is restore my company. Now this time I'm restoring the project. So I'm back in my USB drive, coming into my units, and I'm on the project before I was on the chapter. Each chapter has a chapter and a project. So now I'm doing the project. It's a completely different company. Oh, where's that going? The wrong place. I'm going to lose it again. Go to my USB drive, find my unit folder, and make sure I'm saving it to the right place. All I have to do here is type in my name. And now I have the chapter and the project. Save it. Now the project is Larry's Landscaping for right now. So you're opening Larry's Landscaping and you're adding the reports that it says to add to your digital reports. So mainly what you're learning here is the navigation and how to export these digital reports. That's this first chapter, but it's the foundation that you need to have throughout all of the other activities. And I can't tell you how frustrating it is for people when they lose their reports or they lose everything in their file, and it's just because they exported improperly. Okay, so this is updating my QuickBooks company file. I'm going to let it do that without you watching because it'll just take time. Okay, new company. That means I come into company, go to my company, change out the name of the company, and put my name in there. Okay, let's take out project 1 because I can't fit my name in there. I'm just going to put in PES. There you go. And click OK. And now that one's done as far as the basic settings. So the next part is to pull some of these reports. And the first report I need is my profit and loss standard. So I'm coming in and going to reports again. And my profit and loss standard, and this one is from October 1st, 2018 to September 30th. So I just have to make sure I've chosen the right dates. October 1st 2018 to September 30th, 2019. So we're coming way across. Whoops. September 30th, 2019. There you go. Profit and loss standard. Make sure you're paying attention to the differences, because the second one you do is the detail. We want the standard first. So I run it. Got it? Again, create new, replace an existing, browse, found my chapter 1 reports, open, select a sheet, and I have to make sure, see, this one says the P&L and that says P&L detail. So we want this one first, and that's the project, so it always has a PR in front of it. So now I go here and export. Yes. Come over and look for my Excel file. Hasn't opened yet. Oh, I just realized something. I made a mistake. See this part here? I didn't go through and do the advanced options. So let's close this one out. Don't. Come in and do Excel, create new, replace an existing, and I forgot the advanced portion, which was, let's see. See, we did that part. This is the part. No. No, just a second. Where is it? There it is. Okay, this is the part that I missed. Come over here, and I didn't do this. I didn't click in advanced, uncheck all this stuff and go through. So I'm going to do that now. So I go advanced, uncheck this, or it would have marked me down if I didn't. And then uncheck that and check this, and we're looking good. Okay, I get everything that it says to have on my report, and I click on OK. Now back to, this is the project, so project P&L, and export. And yes. Oh, now I look for Excel. Here it is. This time I've got my name on there. Everything's good. You don't have to don't spend time adjusting these columns, because my program corrects all this for you. So I'm just going to come here and save. Double check what reports I have done. I have the P&L. I have on the chapter the balance sheet, the P&L, and the trial balance. I'm going to come to reports, and I've got another X to mark, and save and close, and we're on to the next report, which is, oh, wait a second, there was something in that last one. I missed a part of that exercise. Let's come back and open that report again, because the activity says to highlight, it says, okay, highlight the single largest income item. So let's look at income. Fountains and garden lighting is there. So I'd say that's it. That's the single largest income item is the fountains and gardening. Oh, wait. Here's some more income. Oh, installation. No. Okay, so that's actually under job materials, so that wouldn't count. So it's labor. It's this one, the single largest income item would be that one. These are all income in here. Total landscaping services. That's what I'm thinking it is, but let me double check the key. You know, it doesn't say, the key does not have the single largest income item. So, I mean, this is an ambiguous question, only because when you look at it, the income item for labor and landscaping services, and then you have the total income, but these are all the items This is just total labor is this one. So boy, that is really tricky. I mean, I would think that it was this one, the installation, but the key does not have that one, and it doesn't mark it wrong. So I'm just going to leave it here, and then we're going to double check it when I go to the key and see what it does. Okay, and I'll show you how that works. So don't forget though, we're on reports and we just did the P&L. We got them marked. Let's close her out. So we're saving and closing it out. Now we want to do the P&L detail, which is this one, profit and loss detail. And it says to do from October 1st. Let's see, it's October 1st through September 30th. Let's see, so we're coming here October 1st, 2018. So we're coming October 1st. And you can type it in there. Let's see. That might be faster. And then here, again, we can do 09/30/2019. That gives you that one. Okay, so now we have the profit and loss detail, and there we go. Okay, there's our detail, and we're going to export it to Excel. Export, create new, and remember, replace existing, and we're replacing the detail. And advanced, make sure we got everything checked right. After you've done it the first time for a company, it usually comes through okay, but boy, it's a common mistake. So I just want to double check it, and then export. And I'm going to do not explain in the future. Click yes, and there it goes. And in this one, it says, which type of landscaping service produces more revenue for Larry's? Installation or maintenance? Repairs. You're supposed to highlight your answer. Well, for heaven's sakes. Okay, there she goes to Excel. This is a big report. And it's coming, it's going to pop up over here. There it is. And now what it says, let's look at that again. Which type of landscaping services produces more revenue for Larry's? Installation or maintenance and repairs? So let's come here and look. Here is, I think we already decided it was installation, but here's installation, and it's $17,950, and there's maintenance and repairs. So it's obviously right here. It's installation. So I can highlight my answer. And I guess I could have highlighted it up here if I needed to. But I think that it just says, highlight your answer. Okay, so now we're going to do the balance sheet. So we've got this one. Let's go here and click on my X and save. Close my Excel file, and I'm on to the next one. The balance sheet. That should be a balance sheet is generally under accountant and taxes. Let's see. Okay, so it was under company and financial, and we want the balance sheet standard. So we're going with this one. And it's supposed to be for the last fiscal year ending September 19. So this says this fiscal year to date. And so we want last fiscal year and September 19th, 2019. That looks like it. and run. Okay, so now we've got it, and then we want the largest liability on the balance sheet. So let's go ahead and export it to Excel. Create a new worksheet, replace an existing, bring it to the balance sheet, and export. But let's double check. We're looking perfect. Okay, and export. Okay, let's see what's going on with Excel. Here it is. And we're looking for the largest liability. So we're going to come down here in liabilities and look at our liabilities. Oh, long-term liability. I got a big one there. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, no, that's equity. We want liabilities. So the largest liability would be that one. Highlight the largest liability on your balance sheet. We'll go there. So yeah, they're the ones that we owe the money to. Bank of any city loan. Okay, and so we're going to go there and then come back to my report. Click on my balance sheet. That was the standard. Now we're going to do the summary. Let's make sure that we did the standard. Balance sheet. I'm not sure I didn't do that. Oh, I might have messed that up. Let's double check it. Save. I did this one, and it's supposed to be the summary. Let's just do this one. Okay, last fiscal year, and go. And that's the one I'm supposed to do. So now create a new worksheet, replace existing, and this is supposed to be the summary one. Oh, no. I screwed up. The second one is the summary one. So this one's the summary one. The first one was the standard. I did it right. And here's the summary. And now I come in and I take a peek and everything looks right and I export. Whew. Wait for my Excel to come up. Here it is. And there's my summary, and it just says highlight the largest asset. So I'm over here in total assets, and I see, well, there's my checking and savings is my highest asset, isn't it? So I just click there, and we're good. Come on back and hit my X, and I'm ready to roll. Now Marilyn can correct it for me, and I'm going to show you how that happens. Okay, so this is where it's important. I have what they call a grader that grades these reports for me. So when I come in and open, here's the one for chapter 1, this solution, I accept this, and I see some other student names there, so I'm going to go ahead and accept this, get rid of the student names, and then show you with this one sheet. So okay, so this is generally how my grader comes in with only just the blank information in here. And I just click on run the grader, but I have to find the worksheets. So when you submit them to me, I get those worksheets, and I'm going to run it right now and see if I've done anything wrong. So what it does is it goes through that worksheet, and oh, I got 100% on everything. So this is my copy. See, it's Marilyn Cleaves, and I click on close it out, and this should have Marilyn Cleaves in here, but it didn't do it. I was hoping it would. Okay, but don't worry about that. I'm kind of used to it. Okay, so there we go. And that gave you the information that you needed for this particular chapter, and we're good to go. Save my reports, and that's how I do my grader. Is I have everybody's name in here as I grade them, and I give you those sheets back. But there wasn't anything wrong with that one, so we did good.